no time. And it says there the platform is designed to be accessible to users without coding experience, enabling them to construct logic, integrate tools, and define actions through a visual control panel. So got here a agent building cycle diagram that I have created here, which you can go ahead and check out from within the document. Just a high level overview of what it is that we are looking at here. So the sort of top step there is building the logic. So this is where you create agent logic visually. Now, the way that I do this and the way that we're going to cover it in this video, I do this by interacting with ChatGPT and just using the platform to help me brainstorm and articulate what I want to do in a way that not only ChatGPT will understand, in a way that SmithOS will understand as well. Essentially, SmithOS works in a way where they've got their own master agent, which is called Agent Weaver. And this is essentially their agent that helps you build other agents. So you want to be able to talk in a language that Agent Weaver is going to understand. And that's where, for me, ChatGPT really comes into its own because it helps me articulate all of that. So building the logic, and then we've got connecting the tools there, integrate with various tools and APIs. So depending on what your use case is, some use cases are really complex. Obviously, you can make this as complex or as easy as you want, but some use cases are fairly simple. Again, I don't have a highly technical background, so I tend to stay away super complex use cases that are going to need to access information from closed platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. For context, what I mean by closed platforms, I mean that the agent is going to need to use something called an API in order to access that platform. And a lot of these platforms generally will sell an API. An API is like a phone call that your agent will need to make every time you ask for information. And once it gets that information, it then displays it on wherever it is that you want it to display it. But the problem is, because information is so valuable, a lot of these platforms will either not provide an API, or if they do, it'll be a chargeable API. So if you look at it this way, the more valuable and the more higher quality information you get, the more expensive that API will be, and so forth. You do get some platforms that are releasing information completely free, information that is up to date. However, a lot of the time you will have to pay for these APIs. But the workaround that I've found is, with a lot of AI agents that I'm building, I tend to stick with information that is available via large language models. What I mean by that is SmithOS, as well as other similar platforms, they will tend to have a native connection with large language models like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. That in itself is a lake, a sea of information that you potentially use to run an application